In this section, we'll be developing our second slide of first project. We completed the first slide in the previous lecture, and now we'll be continuing with our next slide. Like the previous slide, this slide also contains picture placeholders, and there are 4 of them which are containing the pictures. We also have text boxes which are containing the text. This slide will act as the sample slide for the 4th one, and we'll try to develop a replica of this current slide. Since we'll be developing a replica of the 3rd slide onto this slide, and we also know that the 3rd slide has custom layout. It contains 4 placeholders which were added to it by going to the View tab and then by using Slide Master option. As a practice, we'll try to develop that same custom layout and try to insert it in our current slide. We'll go to the View tab and then Slide Master option. As you can see, the 4th slide in our presentation has a blank layout, which can be seen in this layout which Slide Master option is showing us. Now we will go to the Insert Layout option. This inserts a layout. We'll select all of these text boxes and press backspace or delete key to remove them. Now our layout is completely blank. Now we will go to the Insert Placeholder option and select Picture. In order to draw a square, not a rectangle, we'll press a Shift and draw our figure using the left mouse key. We can edit this text by clicking on it and then going to the Drawing Tools Format tab and then to the Text Fill option and reduce its size by going to the View tab and pressing this option several times. Now we can make 3 copies of this placeholder by clicking on the border of this placeholder and then pressing Ctrl plus C. This copies this placeholder onto our clipboard. For those who have no idea what a clipboard in computer is, a clipboard acts as the temporary place for things you copy. Whenever you copy a thing that can be copied, it is stored temporarily in clipboard and then can be used several times until it is replaced by the next one. Now as we have selected our placeholder, we'll send it to the clipboard by pressing Ctrl plus C, and then by using Ctrl plus V, we'll paste it 3 times. In order to ensure that our placeholders are aligned properly, we'll enable the Grid Lines and Rulers option by going to the View tab and then enable these 3 options. We'll then arrange our 3 new placeholders as we want. We can also vary the size of our text boxes by selecting them all, making a right click and selecting the size and position option. We can enter here 2.33 by 2.33. This gives our text boxes the same texture as they appear in the slide number 3. Our custom layout is almost ready. Now we have to give it a name by clicking on the rename option. We'll now type in a name for our custom layout and click on rename. Our custom layout is ready. Now we'll go out of the Slide Master option by clicking on this option. We may want to keep our Grid Lines and Rulers options on because we want to arrange our text boxes also. Our 4th slide still has a blank layout and not the custom layout which we just designed because we created the custom layout on a separate slide. In order to give this slide our newly designed custom layout, we'll go to the Layout option and select our layout. Our newly designed custom layout has been inserted in our blank slide. Now in order to insert the text boxes, we'll go to the Insert tab and then select the text box option and draw our text box of a suitable size. We'll type in our text and select it all using the Ctrl plus A or our mouse key. Give this text this font or any font you want. We'll type in this name in our font's namespace. Now we'll increase the size of the text. Make it bold, and then in the Drawing Tools Format tab, we'll go to the text fill. Using our eyedropper option, we'll select this color. Now we can change the font of our text to any of the fonts from this list. For instance, we'll select this. Similarly, we can also add the subheading to our slide. I leave it as an exercise for you. Now we'll move on with the rest of our slide. In order to make room for our rest of the material, we'll have to move these placeholders up a level. For this, we can select all of these placeholders and move them using our up arrow key or our mouse. But this way we'll only be editing our layout in this slide and not the custom layout which we designed in the start of this lecture. In order to avoid any extra effort in future, we must try to edit the custom layout. For this, we'll select the fourth slide, go to the View tab, and then click on the Slide Master option. We'll now select all of these placeholders and move them up vertically using our up arrow key. That's it. Now we'll go out of the master view and insert the rest of our text boxes. We'll go to the Insert tab, Text Box option, draw in our larger text box, and inside this text box we'll create two text boxes, the one which contains the name of our team member and the second one which contains the designation. Please notice, since we haven't inserted anything in our text box, it disappeared. We'll insert it again. And inside our text box, we'll insert our text box for name. Type in our name. Now we'll draw the second text box. This will contain the designation. We'll select it all and give it this font and this size. We can set the alignment to center. Similarly, for this text, we'll select it all and give it this font and this font size. And also make it centrally aligned. The advantage of working with separate text boxes is the freedom that we can arrange our text boxes as freely as we want. Now we'll insert this symbol under each of our placeholders and give them respective colors. We'll select this symbol, enlarge it a bit, copy it using Ctrl plus C and pressing Ctrl plus V. We can arrange it likewise. In order to give it a blue color, we'll go to the Drawing Tools Format tab, and in the Shape Fill option, we'll select the eyedropper option and select this color. Our Twitter symbol has its blue color. In order to make these four objects one object, we'll select them all, and by four objects I mean this text box, and the surrounding text box, and the fourth object is this Twitter symbol. We'll select them all using our mouse key and then make a right click on them. Select the group option. It is now one object. Grouping many objects into one has a major advantage. It prevents us from doing the same things for many objects. Likewise, we'll select this group by pressing the Ctrl plus C and then paste it 3 times by pressing the Ctrl plus V option. We can arrange these groups likewise. Now we can edit the text boxes. Similarly, we'll select the text and edit it. Now we'll insert our last text box by going to the Insert tab and then selecting the text box option. As a preventive measure, before we go to copy our text from our text folder, we'll type in our text. We'll type in any text in our text box in order to ensure that it doesn't disappear. And then go to our lecture folder. We'll open this file, press Ctrl plus A, and then press Ctrl plus C to copy this text. We'll now select our previously typed text in our text box and press Ctrl plus V to replace with our copied text. We'll give this text a font of this name, so we'll select it, and in our font's namespace we'll type in our font name, reduce its size, and yes, our slide is almost ready. We only need to insert pictures in our placeholders. We can insert pictures in our placeholders by clicking on this icon. We'll go to our images by going to the section 3 folder and then to the lecture 3.2 folder and then to images folder. We'll click our first image and then click on insert. This inserts our image in our placeholder. In order to change its placement, we can go to the Picture Tools Format tab and click on Crop and change the placement of the person and click outside the image. Similarly, for other placeholders, we can select our images likewise and change their placements. By the end, our slides may look like this. We can remove our grid lines and rulers by going to the View tab and deselecting these options. We'll finally end our lecture by selecting these objects and pressing Delete or Backspace key to remove them. It is a good practice to press Ctrl plus S at each step of your development. This ensures that your work is safe and is prevented from any loss. We'll save this document by pressing the Ctrl plus S key. Our second slide in the project is ready.